right, now I just gotta find the damn song. Woo!
We on the air?
With her shins.
With her shins, with her shins, with her shins, with her shins. When the crowd gets busted, when the floor gets dusty, when your blade gets busted, with her shins, with her shins. When your room smells funny, when a hex takes your money, what's gonna save you, honey? Just with her shins, with her shins. All you witches and all you old magicians, it's time to start listening to with her shins, with her shins. With her shins, with her shins, with her shins, with her shins. Cowering like settlers on someone else's land, mistaken advances of the natives who have come to lend a hand. It's a sad and pathetic badge of shame, my friends. Terror always seems to win in the drama of human motivation, where is restraint and reason. Threat is urgent, existential, with patience wearing thin, but the danger's elemental. It's chaos from within. The fox-stained leaves of civilization depict a stark repeat. It's always a flaw in reasoning that fates the citizenry. When the ancestor fell from the arbor, the march of fear began. But the predator wanted failure in the face of consciousness. Threat is urgent, existential, time to scan the horizon. But the danger's elemental, it's chaos from within. Threat is urgent, existential, omnipresent like a skin. But the danger's purely mental, it's chaos from within. Chaos from within.
You can say that it's about the savages. You can say you have a better way to live. You can call it manifest destiny. You can talk of all your civilization will give. You can say that we're a thing of history, and progress is the future you will bring. You can send your armies to these mountains. You can say we'll prosper beneath your king. But there will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose. Because our future is not yours to choose. You can say you've got to stop the communists. You can say that our ideals can't succeed. You can say that competition is the only way, and a global system based on greed. You can call yourself a Democrat. You can call yourself whatever you will. You can keep on stamping out the fires you start, so you might stay on top of the hill. There will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose. Because our future is not yours to choose. You can say that all of us are terrorists, madmen bent on destroying all that's free. You can say that we are building weapons as your bombers fly from sea to bloody sea. You can say you're with us or against us, and to die quietly is what we now must do. You can maintain your innocence. You can say that you are many as you represent the few. There will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose. Because our future is not yours to choose.
Destruction. What kind of a fool do you think I am? Do you think I could be happy with this? Sometimes changes are hard to confront. Listen, and I'll be blunt. I want destruction. Destruction. I want destruction. Destruction. Change it around. Change it. Be careful with what you change. And always use wisdom in what you rearrange. For in this world there is good and there is evil. So don't mistake change for evil. You need destruction. Destruction. I want destruction. I want destruction. Change it around. Change it. Here we go. If you want to change the world, there's still time.
the structure's torn asunder, bearing witness to the madness of the day. Asinine draconians manipulate the mass, and the pot is boiling over, so make way for the caress. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. This is the age of disorder. 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 Calliope calling, she dances in blue flame, laughing at the cacophony while we shop for other people's pain. Gleeful as the storm brews, and out there running in the rain. Cyberspace nightmares invade our fragile hold, and it's poison for the products and cyanide for the gold. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. This is the age of disorder. 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 We move out in the fringes of squalor and decay, all maintaining balance in our own special ways. There is no life, not from death, no death, not from life. And I revel in the demolition while chaos is running right. Is there harmony in the scream, melody in the cry, and all the dust will settle down by and by and by and by, and quiet, quiet now the silence reigns. The water comes and new life multiplies. We stand atop the ridges and watch it all corrode, making love inside this sanctuary while outside the bomb shells explode. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. The age of reason is over. This is the age of disorder. 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 Disorder.
Widdershins.
Shins.
Casey Neal on Widdershins. God, it was a long set, but there was just so many perfect songs for our troubled times right now. I had to keep playing stuff.
Even though there's time for more sets.
Yeah, but those
Very
would be
soon.
other sets. Just that particular.
Doesn't matter what
wave
set you're from.
Of thought that was
Doesn't
going
matter what
on.
set you're in.
That was going right then. It just it couldn't stop. It was a wave. It's a wave.
Yeah.
And
Gotta catch that wave.
We're sitting inside because it's supposed to rain anytime now. Watching.
Oh God! Look how many people! Oh my God! They're like ants.
So many people in the streets.
It's about 3:15 in Los Angeles, 5:15 here, and we're just watching. I can't tell what part of Los Angeles
They were in West
it is.
Hollywood an hour ago.
Yeah, but it's like you can't even. It's like seriously, you can't see the sidewalk. You can't see the street. I've never. I've been in Angelino since I was like 3 years old. Never in my lifetime have I seen that many people. Where is that? Is that Sunset?
No, that's Philadelphia now.
Oh, look like Sunset.
Oh yeah, big crowds in Philadelphia too. We're just watching it all over. Like we've been doing.
And
for
it's just crazy because when the Rodney King riots were happening, I don't remember this like in a lot of different
there was a
cities.
few places where stuff went on other than LA.
And it was over a couple days later.
Yeah,
so it's like day 8.
Yeah, this is some crazy shit.
And the thing is, it keeps getting bigger. Like it's not like it started out big and then people get tired of it and it dwindles.
Yeah, like Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, it actually started out not that big.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting bigger. Like the more what's his face in the White House antagonizes everybody, it gets bigger. He doesn't seem to understand that. Yeah. And like the cops understand that chief of police, when he was telling him like, you're only inflaming the situation.
You don't have anything constructive to say. Please stop speaking.
No, and then he said, keep your mouth shut.
Sorry, keep your mouth shut.
Please stop speaking. You're way too nice. He said, keep your mouth shut. And, that's what the chief of police in Houston said. And he said, I'm speaking for all police chiefs everywhere in the USA. So he's really just, he's obviously that stupid. Like you would have just kind of stopped and tried to diffuse the situation a little bit by now.
He's pissing off the military.
How does he not understand that he's making it worse? Yeah, then I read that Virginia refused to send their military to D.C., but that Maryland agreed to it.
Okay.
Fuck
you, Maryland.
Yeah, fuck that. But I just.
So we watched the other night before the president came out from his third day hiding in his bunker to see his shadow, and we watched that crowd in front of the White House for at least an hour. And they first tried to say that the crowd was violent
when we first started watching it, they were saying like, at some point Trump is going to speak in the Rose Garden, and I think maybe that's what those people were waiting for. So they were marching, but they weren't looting.
They were probably
going to
yell really loud.
They really weren't doing anything. It appeared to me that they were just kind of waiting around.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got plowed and tear gassed.
Tear gas, rubber bullets, like a hail of rubber bullets like I hadn't seen anywhere else.
We saw
sound like rapid fire rubber bullets,
like fall on their asses and stuff. And so he's seriously standing there now and saying that they weren't tear gassed. It's like, what else was that smoke fired at people?
Which we could see, but to argue that minute point of the entire thing is like, okay, well, whatever you want to call that fucking smoky substance that made everybody cry. What about the beatings and the rubber bullets? And like I said a minute ago, it sounded like a machine gun. It sounded like a rubber bullet machine gun.
Yeah.
I've never heard that many. We've seen rubber bullets fired for days, but never like that. It's, an occasional pop here and there. But that was some crazy shit. All so the president could go walk in front of a church and hold up a Bible and get his picture taken for his fucking campaign poster or some shit.
No. I remember I was telling you this morning what it was. He was kind of holding the Bible up, in the air in his right hand in this just really awkward way, and he had no expression on his face. He was just kind of holding it up. Yeah. And I was reading an article today that said that that's like the secret communication with the evangelicals, and that like when he does that, it means like, help, I need your support. And so, but I told you that this morning.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, a dog whistle for them. And that's why I did it. And I remember watching it being like, what is this even about? Like, he's not saying anything. He's just standing there holding a Bible up in the air. He didn't say one fucking word. I was like, what is this? Yeah. That's what it was. They saw that and they're like, oh, okay, we got to rally. And so all of them are saying like, he's fully controls the kingdom of God and armor of God. And I don't even remember what else they said, but they're doing the Walk of Jericho.
The Walk of Jericho.
This guy,
these
people, like really religious people, they went to Tallahassee, I think, to watch him do this thing in the Rose Garden or the church thing, and this dude like who was watching it with his parents, like they're like Pentecostal, and he's like, my mother started speaking in tongues, and I haven't heard her speaking in tongues in years. God. And she was like, there's our president, and I don't remember the exact quote, but she was saying just like really disgusting stuff after she was done speaking in tongues, because he's that fabulous, you guys.
If you speak in tongues, you might be a dumbass.
Yeah, so that these people, and those weren't bots, those were live people that were interviewed. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know how many of them. I really don't know how many of them there are.
That's what happens when we let the
stupid
stupid get in charge of things, man.
And then this article also said, like, they're at a point now where they have finally found a man who will do their bidding, like as far as the law goes and politics and power and stuff. And they found him, and they're like willing to overlook, all the other faults that they don't necessarily agree with, as long as he gives them their judges and their laws and, the anti-LGBTQs, like all of it. Like, they found their puppet. That's why they love him so much. They have a thirst for power now, because they're like, wait a minute. All we have to do is act like we like this guy, and he'll do everything we want, that we've been fighting for since the dawn of time, but nobody gave us these things. And now we can have these things because of this one guy. Of course they're going to help him out. I'm speaking in tongues now.
So he might be a dumbass. All this photo op and the show of force and all that, so he could announce that he's the law and order president.
And that means, that's code speak for the biblical law and order. Was how these people see it. Yeah. He said that he meant biblical law.
Yeah, and then attacks peaceful protesters. They cannot deny they could argue about whatever that smoke was, but flashbangs definitely happen, rubber bullets definitely happen, all kinds of chemical agents of various kinds, including the smoky variety, were used on peaceful protesters that were just standing there. Having more cops beat up more people. After the reason why this fucking thing started, it's like the other day when we saw that cop kneeling on that dude's neck, and the other cop had to pull his fucking knee out the neck. It's like, don't you know how we got here,
it's
dumbass?
Like, that's why we're here. And now you're doing the same thing, and the same cop did it to somebody else earlier. But what I was going to say was, what was I going to say?
There's so much to say.
There's so much to say. You keep talking, I'll think of it.
So all week long, we've been watching this thing, and if I have my timeline right, first it was Minnesota, and there was a couple other protests going on in a couple other places, maybe Atlanta that same night.
But mostly they were going back and forth between St. Paul and Minneapolis. I remember watching.
But in Minnesota, they started burning things.
That's it.
And
St. Paul and Minneapolis are in Minnesota.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's how this started. They started burning things and looting things and destroying police cars. And they burned a police station. And night by night by night, there'd be another city on my TV and another city on my TV. This thing just spread all over the place. It was a catalyst for something that actually may have caused some change. just today, before we came on, the officer I don't know the fucking officer's name.
Derek Chauvin or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
They killed Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, I think it was Chauvin.
They bumped up his murder charges to second-degree murder.
Yeah.
And they're charging the 3 other officers with
aiding and abetting to second-degree murder.
Yeah. So they've at least been charged. They've just really got to not fuck up this case.
In second-degree
murder,
murder...
If they don't get convicted, they're going to have this all over again.
Yes. I was reading about second-degree murder, and it's, there is a difference. Third degree, first of all, it's harder to prove, but the other thing is, I think the maximum is a 10-year sentence with third degree. With second degree, you can get life in prison.
Yeah.
With you're not eligible for parole for 10 years at the very best. So that's, you can't get the death penalty. It's not like in first degree, you can get the death penalty. You can't get that in second degree, but you can be put away for the rest of your life. So there's that, I guess.
Yeah. So, change, from one of these fucking things. Now, we had a bunch of people marching in a street in one of our cities. And that was on TV for, a couple minutes, and then we went back to talking about coronavirus. It's like, how much of that do you think would have spread? People say, oh, look there's people marching in the street, and, and then giving them 2 minutes of airtime. I want to do that too.
And then like they're all gone at 8 o'clock and we're done. It's
like, oh, here's people actually taking out their anger. I mean, they took it out on, innocent people and businesses and things. Yeah. But a police station, they focused. It was the first focused thing I'd seen like that, and that was a spark that exploded the country.
The thing is, really, if you think about things like the Women's March, it was a really well attended, and it was in various cities and a couple other countries and stuff, and we went. But honestly, it brought us Brett Kavanaugh. Like that, I didn't see any other change that came about from the Women's March. And I'm being sarcastic when I say that. Is it got worse to an extent. Yeah. And I think, the fact that it was a peaceful march, I don't have a problem doing a peaceful march, but don't expect for it to bring anything about.
Well, I think you mentioned it from your days in the news. If it bleeds, it leads. Mm-hmm. Like that's news. And it's not their fault. That's what people are going to look at. Mm-hmm. They're the dramatic. There's something on fire. I want to see that. I want to see that thing that is on fire. That's why we have campfires and shit. Everybody wants to see a fire. Not everybody wants to see a bunch of people marching down the street. And we'll go back. We'll talk more about COVID-19, which we still need to keep on in mind because a lot of these people are spreading it.
I fully expect to see a spike in cases, in about a week or so.
And I was all for it when they were, the reopen the states type protesters were all gathering together and stuff. But
but now it's
these are people I don't want to die.
Who we're siding with.
Yes, but so people can discount all they want the chaos that we've seen, but it gets shit done. Direct action gets the goods.
Yep.
Maybe, looting chain stores and corporate places, maybe aim. If you got to loot, you maybe aim a little better. But people have been talking about harping on the idea all week of nonviolent protests. And I keep, trying to remind people about English and stuff, where violence doesn't mean burning a cop car, smashing a window. Those we have other terms, vandalism, vandalism, that kind of thing.
It's not like
it's not violent.
Rounding right wingers up and beating them up.
Now, on that note, Twitter announced, I think today, or it just caught my attention, that they removed a bot site off of their platform that was posing as Antifa headquarters somewhere and was connected to some right-wing nationalist group, white supremacist group. And they were absolutely advocating actual violence. You'll beat up white people in the street and shoot cops and all kind of just crazy ass shit that probably caught Twitter's attention because they actually look for stuff like that, unlike Facebook. But they removed that site, and so just always got to question this shit. In all my years in activism, when shit went wrong on the battlefield, we always would go back and look at who pointed us in that direction and said we should go down that street? Who was in front of the group right then? We always tried to, look back because we were really paranoid about agent provocateurs in our midst. And, now we live in a whole new digital age that wasn't really happening to this extent back during my activism days. But especially with everybody wearing a mask, we don't know who anybody is. That happened back during the Black Bloc days. The Black Bloc, if y'all remember, they were rioters, but they wore like ski masks and shit, and so they were really easily infiltrated. A lot of them
had black bandanas too.
Yeah, and they were really easily infiltrated and led into police traps and directed to bust up the wrong things that had only pissed people off and give them bad press. And, it's because they were all wearing ski masks. People just walk up to your fucking crowd and they look like you. It's like, oh, I didn't see you at the meeting, but okay, let's break this shit together. So, now we have bot infiltrators and shit like that. There were stories that we found out during the Russia investigation that Russia had posed as Antifa and the Proud Boys and some other white nationalist group and created a protest in the same town really close to each other for both groups, and not telling the other group that the other group was going to be there, just like posted. And then they started stirring up shit. So a lot of the shit that we think might have been the Nazis or might have been Antifa, might have just been the Russians fucking with us. Fucking dirty ass Russians. Can't trust them. They're always up to something.
Yeah.
And the Russians we got to deal with. Oh. Just you'd think they'd understand government propaganda and state-run media.
Oh, you mean like my relatives?
Yeah. Those are only the Russians we deal with.
Yeah.
I deal with you, but
yeah,
I wouldn't say that we deal with. Well, I guess we deal with you too. All right, I take it all back.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, my family of origin, they're just really conservative and right-wing, and they're against all the things that helped bring them to this country in the first place. And it's kind of hard for me to reconcile that. So I don't talk that much. I mean, when we were living in LA, they were in LA too. So we definitely, had Sasha sleep over their house and, stuff like that. It's not like, I was estranged from them or anything. But now that I am, in New Orleans and they're in LA, I don't see them. I don't talk to them on the phone. It's just Facebook, and all they post is this like bullshit, right-winger crap, and I have to say something. And it's just, doesn't make for good family relations. But, what am I going to do?
Well, at least we don't really see them anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a little less tense around the table trying not to talk about shit.
Yeah.
But we do get into it on Facebook here and there.
Yeah.
See, luckily, I don't have any family like that.
Yeah,
a lot of them are Christians and Catholics.
I would give my left
better
nut
kind
to have a non-conservative family.
Yes.
Sucks.
So we're watching New York.
For officer. New York. I keep forgetting my main earth-shattering point that I was gonna make.
Oh, that's why I was supposed to keep talking before.
Yeah, and
you didn't find it yet.
No, I didn't find it.
Well, there was this other thing that happened that I thought was just fascinating. So I was listening. I was watching all the riots and everything happen, and I remembered. Oh yeah, I got that Broadcastify app. I should check the different police scanners around. And so I looked, for the stations with alerts, And look at the one that had the most alerts. It was like 4,900 and some odd alerts or listeners on this Chicago PD channel. So I tune that thing in, and it becomes apparent that somebody has taken over their communications. And then it comes out later. I thought I was the only one that knew because nobody was talking about it on the news. I finally had to look it up, and a couple hours before I discovered it, they said the activists had put the frequencies out on the internet, and somehow hackers were able to duplicate the frequencies and hack into the system. And I believe there was something about Anonymous actually taking credit for that or something. Don't quote me on that, but they're at least suspected as having done this. I haven't heard from them in quite some time, but Chicago was the most chaotic fucking city I'd heard of going on there, but CNN just didn't go there that night. And it was so chaotic because they had all these people acting like they were cops and calling in different shots fired calls. Marta just was talking about a story earlier where they said that people heard on the police scanner a cop say, just shoot them all. And while that probably happened, if that was Chicago where they were listening to the police scanner, that was quite possibly one of those hackers, because that's the kind of shit they were doing. They were calling out, officer down, 10-1, 10-1, and just having people go all the way over here, and then cops would be calling in for legitimate stuff, and then the dispatcher would say, okay, what's your location? And somebody else would shout out an erroneous location. And then cops would try and talk, and people would just kind of key up the microphone or whatever they had and jar their transmission. They couldn't. The dispatcher was the most patient and overworked woman I've ever heard of in my life on one of those cop channels. But it was serious chaos. So there's some people being very active from their couches or computer desks or maybe even their phones. I don't know how people did that, but they really fucked shit up and made a chaotic situation way more chaotic. And it was still going on last night. Matter of fact, the feed for the Chicago Police Department wasn't even on Broadcastify, and it was going off all week long. I don't know if the hackers are bumping it off. Since that's just for people to listen, I hope the hackers wouldn't bump those off so we all can listen to the chaos that it's caused. And some of it was, really funny. Some cop said something and somebody goes, just shut the fuck up, piggy. Some of the stuff, it wasn't going to get somebody killed, but it was pretty crazy. So now we're still looking at this insanely huge crowd in Los Angeles. I don't know where that is.
You know what?
They were in Hollywood earlier.
No, yeah, that's definitely not Hollywood. I don't, there's a lot of big buildings that I don't recognize, but I don't think it's downtown. I think downtown has like a lot more tall buildings. Yeah. I can't really tell where that is, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I wonder, like we have a friend. We have a friend. She lives in the Gaylord Hotel on Wilshire, and it's like this really tall. It's called a hotel, and it's formerly a hotel, but it's apartments. She's been living there for years, and it's got like a really great view. Remember the whole city and all this stuff. And there's a bar downstairs. Like we just never even have to leave her house. And anyway, she sent me a picture the other day. Like the whole thing got boarded up. Just in case there were looters there who were going to break the glass and stuff. And we lived right there where there was looting and March and stuff. So I wonder if our condo boarded up their windows.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're looting in March?
What are you talking about?
Did you say, looting and marching?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said looting in March. Going, the people were pissed off about COVID, man.
Fuck you.
they were looting from their cars.
No, but I remember, Jody told me that there was, looting and stuff on Argyle in between Hollywood and Vine. And that's where we are. Yeah. So that's why I was wondering if they boarded up.
It would have been a hell of a scene from our tower.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking about that all the time. And even with the COVID stuff, just thinking about how empty the 101 would have been, and how eerie that would have been.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's only quiet in the middle of the night, and then as soon as it's like 5 or 6 in the morning, it starts to get loud again. Remember when we were asleep?
Yeah.
And that probably wouldn't have happened that much. It'd been crazy, like eerie.
Eerie.
Like when there's just no sound at all, and you're like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is probably kind of like that.
Yeah. So just reading the thing, charges against all 4 officers in the interest of justice. The Attorney General says.
It's a Minnesota Attorney General.
And if you haven't seen the Minnesota Attorney General announcing the charges on the officer, you really need to find it on the internet, because the woman doing the sign language interpretation next to him is the most entertaining thing you'll watch probably in your lifetime. She's going to be like probably memed or something.
Totally.
It's fucking funny as hell. And I remember there was a time like in it's within the last year where it was some big government thing, and somebody was up there doing that, and he was really animated and caught a lot of attention. And then the American Sign Language people, contacted them and said, "We don't know what the hell that guy was talking about." And it turned out he wasn't qualified to do it at all. He was just up there fucking around. It is our humor that will sustain us as a people's.
I don't know
alert.
where no, but the coach of the Seahawks said that we owe Colin Kaepernick a lot.
Yeah.
So, all that shit that he caught, like from Trump, and I remember reading Breitbart, and they were like just totally like dragging him through the mud and calling him names, and then he lost his job at the NFL. Well, off the team, they didn't renew his contract. I think he was with the 49ers. They didn't renew his contract, and nobody would pick him up. I don't feel bad for him financially. I know he's got millions of dollars stashed away, but still, that kind of sucked. And now he's finally like getting his redemption, because now everybody's like, that's what he was kneeling for.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
You could have done it his way, which was the easier way, but no, you had to do it this way.
And and he really pissed him off, because that is one of those few times where some little nonviolent act like that, caught on. Had other football players from other sports doing it.
Remember, like Trump would be like yelling about it and saying, he decided that the kneeling meant he was disrespecting the flag, which is like apples and oranges. But he was like, get that son of a bitch off the field if he disrespects the flag. It's like, nobody's disrespecting the flag, you shit stain. I don't even. Oh God, I hate him. In case you guys haven't noticed, I hate him.
Well, I got kicked out of junior high one time for disrespecting the American flag. And I got to say, I was pissed off, and I was yelling at the principal, and I, flipped off the school, and I flipped off the principal, and I flipped off the flag. I guess that was the final straw or something like that.
I got in trouble in first grade.
And they were going to expel me for dishonoring the American flag.
Oh, then your mom came.
My mom raised some holy fucking hell and got that expunged from my record and shit, and got me, put back in. If I hadn't told you, nobody would have ever known. Yeah. I disrespected the American flag.
I got in trouble in first grade because we had to stand up to tell the Pledge of Allegiance stuff. Yeah. And I think it was the first day, and I just didn't feel like standing up. So I kept sitting, and I got my lunch out. And totally like innocent, but I just started unpacking my food and stuff. And my teacher, the one that I'm friends with now on Facebook, Jeannie,
Yeah.
She was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just eating my lunch. She's like, no, you have to get up and put your hand on your heart and say, and I knew the Pledge of Allegiance, I knew exactly what was going on, but I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And she didn't. I think the whole thing was she was just so taken aback by it. I wasn't even trying to be bad. I was just really I'm just gonna eat, and so I didn't even get in trouble. But it was just this innocent little thing. When they said, we could look at your bag, we could all look at your bag, and I was like, all right.
Well, our Sasha's pretty lucky that we haven't attended a whole lot of school functions, because my first kid, man, I embarrassed the fuck out of her every time I had to go to one of those things, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance, or they do the the Star Spangled Banner and the whole fucking shit, have his face flag put. Anybody ever seen the Klingon discommodation ritual? You like cross your arms over your chest and turn your back to the thing.
You do that?
I would do that like right in the middle. And then one time I did it.
Oh my God, I would be so embarrassed if you were my dad.
One time, standing right next to me was like a newscaster from our local fucking news station that everybody in fucking town knew him.
Yeah.
I can't remember his fucking name, yeah, he was standing right next to me.
Oh my God.
It was very dramatic.
Did the radio get mad?
She asked me to stop embarrassing her when she got old enough.
Oh my God,
And
I
it
can't
was too
believe you
late.
did that. I would have been so pissed. I would have been so pissed.
Yeah, well, I was making a point.
She's going to be one of these days sitting on a therapist chair and talking about that.
No,
She'd be
she's
like,
got
"When I was in first
she's got
grade."
way more stuff from her mom to be on the chair about. So I'm
That's
not
true.
worried. I did
That's
great. In comparison,
See, it helps to go down a few notches so that you can feel better about yourself.
Yeah, in comparison, man, I
Yeah.
have the fucking sun shining out
You're
my
like
ass.
you're like a Viking dad
Viking
in
dad.
comparison.
Thor, Father Thor.
God, we had the craziest rain today.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be pretty crazy rain by now.
Yeah, and it's not.
I checked it like an hour before the show, and that's the only time you ever get an accurate weather report.
But it probably
around
started
here.
at like 9 in the morning, but like hard. I mean, it's rained here before. It rains, more often than anywhere else I've lived. But like a really hard rain, and usually like every other time before, like when it does that, it only lasts like a minute or two, and then it stops. But this went on pouring for hours.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And we're supposed to
And there
get
was
this
some thunder
tropical
and shit.
storm with Cristobal.
I think so.
It's a tropical storm, but it's not supposed to hit shore until they said Saturday. And then today you said Monday?
Yeah, I was probably get the edge of it Sunday.
Yeah. But it rained pretty hard today, and I was like, all right, I guess it's starting. And I figured it was going to last all day, which it didn't.
But so far around these parts, they've been really sucky at the weather. They can't get anything right. So I'm hoping they're, off with that too, because they're tracking the trajectory of this tropical storm all the way from fucking Mexico, a week in advance roughly. It can turn, but its trajectory right now is we're the only ones getting hit. Yes, son, I'm on the radio, or you have something to add to the show?
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay.
So right when I woke up, it started raining. Right when I woke up.
Me too, and it made me want to just
See?
crawl back in bed and be all cozy.
He's staying on topic. He's adding to it.
You did.
Did it wake you up, or were you already awake?
I was already. I woke up right when it started, though.
Oh, okay.
Like right when it
So
started.
since
open
you're
your eyes
wait,
and then it
wait,
started.
stay.
You're the water boy.
Whoa.
Since you're here, can I ask you, just a theoretical, hypothetical
What?
question? If I was to go to one of your school events and they had us do the flag salute, and I instead did the Klingon discommodation
Pledge of
ritual.
Allegiance, and your dad show him what you would do.
Klingon discommodation ritual goes like, let's say you're the one I'm discommoding.
So you're
Look
let's say
watch.
you're the flag.
What does that even mean?
Let's say you're the flag. So he would go like that.
That
while
means
you
you
guys,
know- that means you
while
know-
the rest of you are facing
If-
the flag,
yeah.
doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you're the one getting discommoded, you no longer exist
would you
in
be-
Klingon
would
society.
you be embarrassed?
I don't know.
You might be, and you might not be.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's an honest
Okay.
answer. The most honest answer.
He might not
that
be
there
embarrassed.
ever is.
Our kid is cool.
I don't fucking know.
He's so cool that everybody loves him, and he doesn't have to worry about fitting in because he just does his thing. So that's
Yeah.
why he could not be embarrassed, and it wouldn't really ruin his reputation or anything because that's how cool and well liked he is.
He could
Not.
Yes.
He could not what?
He could not do that. Yes.
Not do what?
Exactly.
You don't even know what you were talking about.
Yes, I do. I wasn't talking about anything. You were here talking. I was talking to Sasha.
You were talking to Sasha. He's long gone.
Well, the last thing that I contributed to the discussion was the discussion with Sasha. And you've been babbling about something over here while I'm looking for what song to play next.
I haven't been babbling about
That's
anything.
basically, we're not on video, but
We're
people
just,
would know that
we're
that's
just
what's going
talking
on.
about the weather.
We were.
And
Oh, yeah.
Sasha
the
said
tropical
they
storm
woke up
coming.
right when it started raining.
Yeah.
Sasha, do you like it when it rains?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite? Yeah, Sasha loves it. Like in LA, it didn't rain. You know, it rains sometimes, but not as often. But he would get so excited when it rained. And then I got him this really cool shark umbrella for Christmas, and he left it at school one day.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while before I establish enough trust to buy him another one. It was a really cool shark umbrella with like the dorsal fin up top and like the jaws and stuff. It was awesome.
Well, this is his current school. That's just not really much of a problem. It's so small. Everything that he's ever lost goes right to this one shelf, and I see it when I go in. And, so he won't lose anything.
But he
did back then.
He needs to be more responsible, though.
Yes.
Because he loved it. I got it for him for Christmas a couple years ago, and that was like his favorite present. Because he loves umbrella. He loves the rain. He loves, having to use an umbrella, and it's a shark umbrella. So it was like awesome.
Yeah, so he really loves it here because it gets more rain.
Yeah, it gets more rain here.
You see, son,
and you
rain
can,
like none of us have seen coming.
I think hear it. You can hear it pretty well in the condo. We were on the top floor.
Yeah, but we're getting like edge of tropical storm.
But I think it rains
rain.
a little harder here, so I think he digs it more.
And I'm just, as long as it stays tropical storm, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm ready for hurricane yet. I'd like to have a tropical storm first.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to close the shutters.
Yeah, I got to deal with that, and then, something worse than that. Okay. I can already see that. Like, put duct tape around the edges of the door and don't open that door for a couple of days.
We got to get provisions.
All kinds of stuff. Provisions, yes.
Yeah.
So we're preparing.
Well, I think what you're also supposed to do is, you have to have like evacuation bag, but you also have in case you have to shelter in place, which we've mostly been doing, but we can leave when we want to get groceries and stuff. But with this, we've got to just get enough like cans and pasta and frozen stuff and whatever just to last us a few weeks. Yeah. And I really wish we had solar panels because we probably will lose power at some point.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have solar panels, but then somebody told me, and I didn't even think about this, that like if the weather's really bad, the wind is going to blow the solar panels off. So they're not necessarily going to work, and then I have to check with the homeowner's insurance and
But I would
all
think
that stuff.
that the solar companies here are aware of that.
Well,
Some sort of
yeah.
installation method where the wind doesn't get underneath it or
they've got to have
something,
some
flush against the
workaround or
roof.
something. Yeah. And there's probably, you might be able to get like insurance from them to like, protect it if there's any wind damage or anything. But it's something I wanted to get so we don't have to worry about ever having a power outage.
Yes.
Do
so
that
many
at some
things
point.
to do.
Yeah. You make more money.
Money. All right, what the hell was I going to play? Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to play some. So you remember the K-Rock Acoustic Christmas?
Yeah.
So this band came on one day. I've played them before, but you didn't know the story. But they driving around, and these guys came on and played this fucking song, acoustic version of this song. It just blew me away. I'd never heard of them before, but then later, driving around Hollywood, I saw their faces on a billboard, so I hope they're doing fine.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What you gonna do when they show up in black suits on your street in army boots? And then silence you. What you gonna say when they strip your rights away and the tax man makes you pay for every bit of sweat you bled today? We don't need to run and hide. We won't be pushed off to the side. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader the jury must discuss. Say you don't look like one of us. We're gonna turn. Now the court has been adjourned, and the lessons that you've learned are not as many as the bridges burn. We don't need to run and hide. We won't be pushed off to the side. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. We don't need to run and hide. We won't be pushed off to the side. What's your plan tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time to take back the power. Let's take back the power. Let's take back the power.
Was that the Interrupters on Winter Tunes Radio? Now we're looking at Washington. Can't even see the end of this crowd. At least a mile or two long.
Okay, you know what?
Marching down the street.
I am really blown away by this. We've been watching stuff every day. It's never been this huge in multiple cities.
No,
I mean, look at that.
no. And it was
Even yesterday, the day
These
before.
people ain't running out of energy.
Yeah, and I'm concerned about the fact that we still have a virus going around. And
yelling.
you're yelling. I mean, it's
projects that
and
kind
it's
of
like sure,
stuff out.
most people have masks, and that's great, but I don't know how many of them have hand sanitizer and all this other shit.
And then, people hand them bottles of water, and they just grab the bottle of water from every random stranger.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about people poisoning fucking water and handing it out.
Yeah, exactly. But so I am concerned. I think there's going to be a spike, and I hate the thought of that because I think this needs to happen. I'm not going out because I'm, legitimately immunocompromised. Even the biggest bigots who want to reopen, even they say, okay, if you're old and sick, stay home. It's like, okay, bitch, that's what I'm doing. I'm staying home. So nobody's gonna,
Well, and I've seen people bring their kids to stuff that was not
Yeah.
a peaceful protest, and kids have gotten maced and tear gassed.
Yeah, there's that,
and,
too.
What the fuck?
we got 2 dogs. And it's
And-
just,
it's the parents' fault, but it's also the cops' fault. One, they were shot the kids with tear gas. Tear gas, it's only shoots a couple feet. They had to see the kids there. Now where are we? Oh, now we're in Minneapolis. They're all kneeling.
they're all
in the
kneeling
street,
with their hands in the air.
hands in the air, but they're actually fists.
Somebody
Instead
rebukes,
of just the
I don't know who
hands
that
up
is,
thing.
but somebody rebukes. What is that? Is it the Secretary of Defense?
I believe the former Secretary of Defense. Yeah, rebukes
Okay.
Trump.
Oh, it's not the current one.
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
But wasn't that the current one that totally came out against him today?
well, that's what I was.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was asking about.
So
I don't
he's
know
going to get
who.
fired.
Okay, so there's Los Angeles, Washington, New York, and Philadelphia today. They've got a screen
There's
split
probably
into
more.
4 places. Yeah, but they probably can't show all of them at once. But yeah, it's oh god, it's really crazy. I didn't even expect. I mean, as blatantly wrong as that was, I wasn't expecting it to go this big, and I'm glad that it did.
Yeah.
But like I said, especially maybe I don't know. I was going to say, especially in light of like the lockdown, but there's so many people who want to get out of the lockdown that maybe that's why they're showing up every day.
Yeah.
Like they're so happy
to be home.
They're so happy to be out.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that's why they're not running out of energy. They don't want to go home, sit on the couch.
Yeah, they're like, what are we gonna do? So it's crazy, but yeah, that's a concern. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rise in cases.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But the majority of them are at least wearing masks, unlike the right-wing protesters.
yeah,
Even just like the anarchists got, a bandana over their face for the tear gas and shit, which hopefully will help slow the spread. But yeah, everybody's yelling, everybody's chanting. They always remember about that choir, and they all got it, because everybody was projecting their
they
voice
all
so much.
they all stood away from each other. They didn't hug each other. They had hand sanitizer. Even those like the sheets of paper that they read off of, they each brought their own. They didn't share, and they still had. I don't remember how many they had. I think it was like either 40 or 60 that were hospitalized, but I don't remember how many there were total. Look at Azzy. And I don't know how many of them died. But the point is they were, from what I understand, they were pretty responsible about it. They weren't touching each other. They weren't hugging each other. They were standing far away. But when you sing, you're projecting your voice. And I guess those like microscopic droplets are going to start swirling all over the place.
Yep.
And that's how they got it.
Maybe air conditioning system there too.
Yeah.
Same building.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So something happening in Los Angeles right now. I think that's just that big crowd.
What street? Can you see that street name?
Broadway.
Okay, that's downtown.
All right, just looks like they're marching. See, now marching's getting a lot of attention because of the explosion initially. And people are waiting watching to see if something else happens like that.
Yeah.
Because, again, everybody wants to see a fire. And, hey, if it's a police car on fire, yeah, everybody wants to see that, too.
Yeah.
And the weirdest one I saw, they flipped this police car over, and this woman came and she poured a bunch of milk on it. And then on our Stay the Fuck at Home show on Facebook Live today, somebody asked me how I felt about that a woman taking a shit on an overturned police car.
I actually saw a picture of that.
Yeah, I hadn't actually heard the story, but it says, I'm all for it. It's a
crowd
powerful
of
statement.
People and overturned car and this woman's butt in the back.
It's a powerful statement on how you feel about the police. Unlike pouring milk on an overturned police car, I guess I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Is that like Parker Center shit? Or, no, I don't even think Parker Center is a thing anymore.
Oh my God, look how many people.
Is it like City Hall?
I do not know. Oh my God, that's so many people. Where do they all park?
I know, it's fucking LA.
Wow.
Well, we're seeing just crowds as far as the eye can see, and they're really, unfortunately, in really close quarters.
Yeah.
At some.
Okay, so they did a rigorous, double-blind study, like the real deal on hydroxychloroquine, and it fails to prevent it in a rigorous study. So they had a placebo, and they gave it. And double blind basically means that neither side knows what they're taking. Like one side's taking the placebo, and the other side's taking the drug, and they don't know who has what. Yeah. And they said the results were I think 1% higher in the hydrochloroquine, and you better not be so stupid to be like, see, it's better, it works. And I'm going to actually get the exact numbers, but it was definitely nothing. So they basically said that it doesn't work. Let's see. Okay, let me see. I'm getting there. Scroll. Okay, sorry. I don't know why it's taking me so long to find these numbers, but it was okay. So, all right. After 14, so I guess I'm not gonna go back and reread it, but I think what they did was they exposed the people to the virus, or they already had the virus. Okay, And then, so they're randomly assigned to get either placebo pills or hydroxychloroquine for 5 days, starting within 4 days of their exposure. So they were exposed, and I don't remember if like on accident or on purpose or whatever, but neither they nor their doctors knew who was getting what. After 14 days in the study, 12% on the drug developed COVID-19 symptoms versus 14% in the placebo group. But the difference is so small, it could have occurred by chance. So there's like a 2% better
than the placebo.
Yeah, and that's
So
it.
sugar pill,
which is not enough to really make a difference. So the jury's out on it.
Yeah.
They did studies, like real studies, rigorous studies. It wasn't some like back alley study, and no. So, which I'm not shocked. Are you shocked? Yeah.
So I kind of wonder what they're chanting now. I mean, it's still chant, Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe, but
Sometimes they chant his
it's
name.
like stuff happened now. It's kind of like have a little victory lap.
The fact that
too,
they're all charged.
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff.
at least charged. That was one of a few of the initial things that everybody wanted.
It was mainly the thing that people wanted was that to move it up from 3rd degree, and that all 4 of them need to be charged.
Yeah, and that's
so technically we got what we wanted. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. I mean, what else are they going to march for? I mean, there sure as hell will be a march if they get acquitted. But for now, I don't know what else there would be to march about, because that's all we were asking.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I don't know either. I mean, unless people are holding out for 1st degree charges, I don't know. And there's his baby mama, and there's his daughter.
Well, what was I going to say? Yeah, 1st degree, they have to prove premeditation and stuff. But, I just don't know why everybody's not really looking into the fact that those 2 dudes used to work together. And they totally knew each other, the cop and Floyd.
I mean, you don't just run into somebody that you've been working with for a year and do that.
Yeah.
Especially for something as nonviolent as a counterfeit 20.
Yeah.
And he wasn't running from the cops at any point. I mean, I look back on all this. They tried to say he was resisting, which he wasn't. But I look back on it. He didn't really do anything that would have escalated. Even if it was true, he used a fake 20. But that's it. He didn't run. He didn't fight. He didn't resist.
Yeah.
So, and you knew him.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you kill him?
Yeah.
Why?
He's already in handcuffs.
In handcuffs. Yeah. You could fully take your knee off and it would be the same thing. He's not going to get up. That's what's so weird. That's kind of like the zebra in the story to me. That's really weird.
Yeah.
So, and if, considering he did know him and killed him, you maybe can prove that was premeditated.
The CNN reporter is holding up the mug shots of the other officers.
Oh, okay.
They've been. I knew they had 2 of them arrested, and they were going to arrest 1 more.
Oh,
see,
they got all 3. Okay, they got all 3.
All right,
okay.
so they booked all 3 of the officers.
All right. So they're all in orange.
Yeah, orange and black.
Yeah.
So it was like orange and the new black.
All right, so they're in custody. I wonder what their bail is going to be.
Yeah.
So I guess he didn't make bail because they gave him bail. They gave him $500,000, so which means he has to put up $50,000.
Yeah.
But I guess he didn't do that.
His wife's divorcing him, so maybe money's tight.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at Minneapolis. Lots of people in Big Shrine where George Floyd died. Yeah, I wonder, there's definitely, it's a racial injustice and, the killing of unarmed black men by cops, isn't over. There's still more to bitch about, but it'll be interesting to see what's the focus of the protests at this point.
Yeah.
And they're asking a bunch of people a bunch of stuff, so that's nothing to really explain to the radio, but... we've been. I don't think what else I think we watched America's Got Talent
Yeah.
and World of Dance.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty much been the Riot Show.
Yeah.
I think we even forgot Saturday Night Live again.
Oh, did we
For the
forget
Riot
it?
Show, yeah.
Okay.
Which is probably on demand or whatever. But yeah, it's just been riots and dogs barking. Oh, those are the dogs Trump threatened to let loose on the White House grounds to protect him.
Our dog?
Yeah, he wouldn't go though.
Yeah, he as he said, no, man. No. He's like, I'm
Well-
going to stay here in New Orleans.
Well, a matter of fact, as he's walked the other
As
day, he pissed on an American flag.
Oh, he did? When?
Yeah, it's like 2 days ago on his walk. Forgot. I should
It
have
was
got.
on the ground?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is these people have them stuck in the ground. They're like draping against the dirt, which
Oh, they
supposed
were
to
the
be-
ones on sticks?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he peed on it?
supposed to be
Oh, my
sacrilege or
God. You
something.
should have taken a picture.
So my
That
dog
would've been
peeing
so
on it was no
cool.
worse than them having it, draping on the ground.
That's so funny.
As a matter of fact, the protocol.
Azzy, you're such a patriot.
The protocol when an American flag touches the ground is what?
Death?
You got to burn it.
Oh.
So you burn the flag. If anybody can complain, say, "Hey, touch the ground." I suppose what he's
So
supposed
all
to
you
do.
have to do before you burn a flag is have it touch the
Yeah,
ground?
you got to touch the ground.
And then you
I
can
don't
burn
know why nobody ever fucking used
it? Wow.
this.
They
Yeah. Yeah. All I could have done away with all that constitutional challenge.
Yeah,
and all
totally.
that
Be like,
upheaval.
I don't know, I
It's-
dropped
it's
it.
just the protocol.
Yeah.
kind of like folding it up in that little fucking triangle thing. It just is. I didn't write it.
Oh my God.
It just is. If it
that's so
touches the
funny.
ground, you got to burn the flag.
Yeah.
Burn the fucking flag. Wait, do I have a song about that? I'll play a song about that soon here.
You have a song about it.
Of course I do. Of course I do. All right, well, we're getting rather silly in here, so I think we'll play a song.
Of the 100 billion things to do with marijuana, one just makes me think. More than the fuel and the food and the paper, the
All right, so
This guy is so funny,
Marta's
you guys.
insisting that I tell this story that I totally told her in confidence just now. Once upon a time when I was a busker, shortly after singing that song at an event where every Friday these activist groups were coming out to a very prominent corner in Santa Cruz called Cathcart and Pacific to burn the American flag. And so I sang that song, and we're getting ready to burn the flag. And this crazy, one of our street people, he's come running up on me. He's a big gargantuan motherfucker, too. He's got his hands around my throat. He said, "You're not going to burn my flag." And I said, "Well, that's not your flag. That's our flag. We're going to burn that flag." "You're not going to burn my flag."
And
I was like,
hands around
yeah,
your
and I
neck.
said, "Well, that flag there, we're going to burn that." And we got that flag. However, we got that flag, and it's our flag. And we're going to burn it. You don't own the flag. And then I used the argument that I just told you guys about a minute ago. So he's going, "You're not going to burn my flag." I said, "Look, how about if we let the flag accidentally touch the ground, and then the rules are you're supposed to burn it, and then everybody will be happy." And he goes, "Well, you can't let it touch the ground. That's sacrilege. That's worse than burning it." And I said, "There's just no winning with you, is there?" And he busted up laughing and took his hands from around my throat, and we had a good laugh, and I walked away, and we burned our fucking flag.
You burned the flag?
We burned, on those nights, we burned 4 or 5 fucking flags.
Oh my God.
Everybody's, it's like, okay, people, we have a week. Everybody go find flags to steal and bring them to the flag burning
You
thing.
have never told me the story that a guy had his hands around your neck and you're just standing there going, "Is that your flag? That's not your flag. That's our flag. We're going to burn the flag." That's hilarious.
Well, matter of fact, at that time and for a very long time, and up until even on the guitar that I lost in West Hollywood when we moved, my guitar strap was tied to my guitar with the remnants of a burnt piece of American flag. For years, it was probably so dirty you didn't even notice what it was anymore. But it was from one of those nights, and my guitar strap broke, and I grabbed the nearest piece of cloth that I had lying around, which happened to be a fragment of a burnt American flag, and I used it to hang my guitar up, and it seemed very appropriate.
Yeah.
It was my guitar. I was singing those
Your
kind of
guitar,
songs.
your flag.
Yes, my flag. Yeah, I'm going to hang my flag on my fucking guitar. Let my fucking burnt flag fly. God damn it. All right.
Oh my God.
I was going to do a longer
We've been
musical
married
break.
for 13 years.
Oh, yeah, we had
You're
our
still making me laugh.
13-year anniversary while y'all were gone.
On Monday.
And I got a brewing kit. And
Yeah.
you got a box for your enemies.
Yeah, I got him a mead brew making kit, and it didn't come with the honey, and it takes like 3 pounds of honey for a gallon of mead. So I went back online and I got like a mead recipe mix for elderberry mead, which they always have honey, but you can add stuff to it. So it's got the 3 pounds of honey and 2 ounces of elderberries and whatever else you need, like yeast or whatever. And that's supposed to come next Monday.
Yeah.
So we're going to make elderberry mead. I'll tell you guys
Make
about it.
meads. Then we're going to make IPAs after that.
And then you're going to make me an Imperial Russian Stout.
Then I'll make you an Imperial Russian Stout. Mm-hmm. What do you think the dog's chewing on now? Is that...
Mojo.
I thought it was your slipper, but your slippers are over there. So
Mojo.
I'm sure it's something he's not supposed to have.
He
I think it's the inside of my shoe that I let him eat.
He was crunching pretty hard earlier, and I didn't know what it was. What happened to their antlers?
Up there.
They both still have them?
Yeah.
Because I'd rather have them chew on their antlers.
Okay, we're probably going to play a song rather than have this discussion with you
Antlers.
all, okay?
Some people believe in carrying signs as a way to bring about change.
listen. What more can you do? I believe in sabotage to make my dreams come true. But some people will say it should be put away for destroying their precious property. Well, they don't bat an eye while Mother Nature cries. She is much more precious to me. It's why I believe in sabotage. They won't listen. What more can you do? I believe in sabotage. Just who are they trying to screw? I believe in my heart. We all do our part. Take a whack at the big killing machine. Its gears will stop turning, carcinogens stop burning. Yes, I have a dream. Oh, I believe in sabotage. They won't listen. What more can we do? I believe in sabotage to make my dreams come true.
Oh, why don't you work like other folks do? How can I get a job when you're holding down two? Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. Oh, I went to a house and I knocked on the door. The lady said, "Scram bum, you've been here before." Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. Yeah, I went to that house and I asked for some bread. The lady said, "Scram bum, the baker is dead." Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. There I am in Spookaloo, city of magic, city of light, ensconced upon my front porch in broad daylight, long about noon, my rising time, drinking something of a potable beverage, playing my guitar, long after everybody else in the neighborhood has packed up their lunchbox and gone off down to Kaiser Aluminum to put in their shift. This enrages my neighbors. One in particular across the road, little retired banker fella, been known to cannonball his rotundity across the road and stand there and publicly berate me for my sloth and indolence. "Why don't you get a job?" he says. Some of you heard that, I'll bet. Now me being hit to the Socratic method fires back a question. Why? "Why," he says, taken aback, "if you had a job, you could make $3, $4, $5 an hour." I said, "Why?" pursuing the same tack. He said, "Hell, you make $3, $4, $5 an hour, you could have a savings account. Save up some of that money." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you save up enough of that money, young fella, pretty soon you never have to work another day in your life." I said, "Hell, that's what I'm doing right now." Oh, I like my boss, he's a good friend of mine. That's why I'm starving out on the bread line. Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. Yeah, and I like Jim Hill, he's a good friend of mine. Say, that's why I'm booming down Jim Hill's main line. Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. I guess pretty soon I'll be headed back to Spokane, take up my task of wintering in, and I do a little light farming or heavy gardening, whichever. You know, that kind of farming is hard if you're in this traveling profession. And of course, when you sing like I do, you got to be ready to travel with considerable alacrity. I got a Greyhound bus ticket in my back pocket all the time. But you see, quite often I'm not back in town in time for my plowing or my planting. That's awful. But now, one time I was sharing a platform in New York City, it was, with a bunch of high-powered labor politicos. It was a benefit for the farm workers, that's what it was. I remember Richard Chavez, Cesar's brother, was there. And so was Bella Abzug, former congresswoman from the state of New York. Remember her? Wonderful woman. I mean, she was loud, vociferous, big hats. She was yelling at that audience, righteous beef it was, about how the feds, the FBI, had been opening her mail for ever so long. Well, I knew the feds had been opening my mail for at least 20 years, reading all my personal radical mail, and it never bothered me because I figured them birds had to learn that stuff somewhere, and it might as well be from my mail. But then it occurred to me in my predicament, having the FBI open your mail might come in handy. I sent Sheila, my partner, a letter through the United States mail, and I said in it, "For God's sake, don't plow up the backyard. That's where the guns are buried." National Guard rolled up, dug up the whole backyard in time for me to come back and plant the damn thing. Oh, I went to a bar and I asked for a drink. He gave me a glass and he showed me the thing. Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. Whenever I get all the money I earn, the boss will be broke and to work he must turn. Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again. And why don't you save all the money you earn? If I didn't eat, I'd have money to burn. Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Hallelujah, bum again. Hallelujah, give us a handout to revive us again.
We're doing some music right about now. And we got to try and find the song that Marta wanted to hear. But before that, the other night when the hackers took over the Chicago Police Department's communications system in the midst of total fucking chaos, they opened up with this song broadcast across the entire police bandwaves. And it was pretty fucking funny, I gotta say.
Right about now, NWA court in full effect. Judge Dre residing. In the case of NWA versus the police department, prosecuting attorneys are MC Ren, Ice Cube, and Easy motherfucking E.
Order. Ice Cube, take the motherfucking stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help your black ass?
You goddamn right.
Well, won't you tell everybody what the fuck you gotta say?
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. Fuck that shit cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on and thrown in jail. We can go toe to toe in the middle of a sale. Fucking with me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every nigga is selling narcotics. You rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo rolling in a benzo. Be the police out of shape, and when I finish, bring the yellow tape to tape off the scene of the slaughter. Still getting swole up bread and water. I don't know if they fags or what. Search a nigga down and grabbing his nuts, and on the other hand, without a gun they can't get none. But don't let it be a black and a white one, cause they'll slam you down to the street top. Black police showing out for the white cop. Ice Cube will swarm on any motherfucker in a blue uniform. Just cause I'm from the CPT, punk police are afraid of me, huh? A young nigga on the warpath, and when I finish, it's gonna be a bloodbath of cops dying in LA.
testimony to the jury about this fucked up incident.
Fuck the police and Red said it with authority. Because the niggas on the street is a majority of gang. It's with whoever I'm stepping. And a motherfucking weapon is kept in a stash spot for the so-called law. Wishing Ren was a nigga that they never saw. Lights start flashing behind me, but they're scared of a nigga, so they mace me to blind me. But that shit don't work, I just laugh, because it gives them a hint not to step in my path. For police, I'm saying fuck you, punk. Read my rights and shit, it's all junk. Pulling out a silly club, so you stand with a fake ass badge and a gun in your hand. But take off the gun so you can see what's up, and we'll go at it, punk, and I'ma fuck you up. Make you think I'ma kick your ass, but drop your gat and Red's gonna blast. I'm sneaky as fuck when it comes to crime, but I'ma smoke them now and not next time. Smoke any motherfucker that sweats me, any asshole that threatens me. I'm a sniper with a hell of a scope, taking out a cop or two. They can't cope with me. The motherfucking villain that's mad with potential to get bad as fuck, so I'ma turn it around. Put in my clip, yo, and this is the sound. Yeah, something like that, but it all depends on the size of the gap. Taking out a police would make my day, but a nigga like Ren don't give a fuck to say.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Yeah, man, what you need?
Police, open out. We have a warrant for Easy's arrest. Get down and put your hands where I see you. What the fuck? Get out of here. What did I do? Just shut the fuck up and get your motherfucking ass on the floor. Man, I didn't do shit. Man, just shut the fuck up.
Easy E, won't you step up to the stand and tell the jury how you feel about this bullshit?
I'm tired of the motherfucking jacking. Sweating my gang while I'm chilling in the shacking. Shining the light in my face, and for what? Maybe it's because I kick so much, but I kick ass. Or maybe because I blast on a stupid ass nigga when I'm playing with the trigger of an Uzi or an AK. Cause the police always got something stupid to say. They put out my picture with silence. Cause my identity by itself causes violence or E with the criminal behavior. Yeah, I'm a gangster, but still I got flavor. Without a gun and a badge, what do you got? A sucker in a uniform waiting to get shot by me or another nigga. And with a gat, it don't matter if he's smaller or bigger. And as y'all know, E's here the rule. Whenever I'm rolling, keep looking in the mirror and it's on cue, yo, so I can hear a dumb motherfucker with a gun. And if I'm rolling up the 8, he'll be the one that I take out and then get away. While I'm driving off laughing, this is what I'll say. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
The verdict. The jury has found you guilty of being a redneck, white bread, chicken shit motherfucker.
Wait, that's a lie. That's a goddamn lie.
Get him out of here.
I want justice.
Get him the fuck out my face.
Justice.
Out right now.
Fuck you, you black motherfucker.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
This is a French word. I think the gentleman somewhere over there.
Coup d'etat, coup d'etat.
Coup d'etat.
Coup d'etat. The government gets overthrown. Sudden burst, major stroke, overrun. Nuke comes in.
Coup d'etat.
Give me a bomb.
A Molotov.
It's a coup d'etat. Generalissimo steps up chop, step out of line, next on a block. Armies marching through the streets. Trust no shot, trust will need. Coup d'etat. Coup d'etat.
A push from the left and a shove from the right. It's all planned out. We'll do it tonight. Push the president in his wife.
hold them for ransom or take their lives. Attack their embassy. They are our enemies. The president, they smoke cigars. Anyone he does not like, he shoots or puts behind bars. Kudeta! Kudeta!
one evening as the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning, down the track came a hobo hiking, and he said, boys, I'm not turning. I'm headed for a land that's far away, beside the crystal fountains. So come with me, we'll go and see the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, there's a land that's fair and bright, where the handouts grow on bushes, and you sleep out every night. Where the boxcars all are empty, and the sun shines every day on the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees and the lemonade springs, where the bluebird sings in the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs all have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. There the farmers' trees are full of fruit, and the barns are full of hay. And I'm bound to go where there ain't no snow, and the rain don't fall, and the wind don't blow, in the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, you never change your socks, and the little streams of alcohol come a-trickling down the rocks. There ain't no short-handled shovels, no axes, spades, or picks, and I'm bound to stay where they sleep all day, where they hung the Turk that invented work, in the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, all the jails are made of tin, and you can walk right out again as soon as you are in. Why, the brakemen have to tip their hats, and the railroad bulls are blind. There's a lake of stew and a gin lake too, you can paddle all around 'em in a big canoe, in the big rock candy mountain.
Haywire Mac on Witterson's Radio. And we're just sitting here watching. We saw the largest crowd I've ever seen in my life, way bigger than Trump's inauguration, even in Washington, D.C. So I don't know, man. This little thing didn't seem to work because apparently they pushed back the curfew in Washington, D.C.
They did?
Yeah, that's what they said. There you go. SDC's curfew pushed back a day after less than 24 protesters, or 24 were arrested during protests. All right, so I don't know how to what hour they pushed it back to, but there's no way they can arrest as many people as we were seeing.
There's no way. Oh, look, Spicy.
Spicy says that he don't think that Trump will deploy military to cities.
No, Trump said that.
Oh. Why is he talking to Spicy?
I don't know.
Trump's talking
Oh, my God. They gallop so fast through here that I'm amazed they haven't, broken their brain by smashing into a wall.
Trump says he has very strong powers to send military to cities to restore order.
But I don't think
I'll have
he's gonna be like, I could have. I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah, just because I'm nice.
He's already digging his way out of it. Yeah, he's like, I just decided not to.
I didn't really hide in my bunker for 3 days.
Never mind.
I went in there to inspect
Never mind that it's illegal for me to do anything that I said I would do. I just don't feel like it. I changed my mind.
Yeah. That would be the first act of civil war if federal troops went into states that did not agree.
Can you guys hear the dogs?
I'm sure they can hear it. It's like
they fight.
Carnage.
Listen.
Carnage.
Lots of mouth breathing.
It's the chaos we live in.
Yeah, listen.
People don't realize. I think we have these peaceful lives of white light and pink cotton candy.
The puppy is a lot bigger now.
I'm sure you all think that about us.
So the playing is a little bit more savage. Ooh.
Little bit more savage.
He's bigger and he jumps really high.
Yeah. And puppy's got scars from these play sessions.
He's got gnarly scars on his head.
I don't know. As he's got his skin's just too thick to have.
Yeah,
scars,
that's the thing. As he's never gonna have scars because he's got 5 layers of skin.
Yeah.
The puppy's skin is thin, but they're almost the same size now. So the playing is gnarly.
So anyway, I guess we're going to close on, there's fuckloads of people all over the place in the streets still.
Minneapolis.
All over the damn place. And
everywhere they show, you can't even see you could eventually see the ground like on the edges, but like in the middle of where all the people are, you can't even see the ground.
Yeah. And then, it's peaceful now. The crazy shit tends to happen after dark.
Yep.
But we'll see. But it looks like it's going to be another night of this. Maybe.
I mean,
next week
I heard
something else
it's like based on what I saw today. The police, I think, were told to use a lot of restraint, and that's why Trump is starting to backpedal. He's like, I don't think I have to do that. I think he's,
he told him to use, dominating force.
Well,
and
before, but it backfired. So I think now he's telling him not to do that. But he's telling us that he's just like, I could do it. I'm just choosing not to.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually going to be like I see a ton of people, but I think it's going to be a little calmer. I don't think they're really allowed to use any force today. No. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Unlike our pooches. You hear them?
Yeah. I'm sure they do. I see it on the mic.
Look how tall they are.
So you've been listening to Widdershins Radio. We come to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time these days. If you're following us on iHeartRadio or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or Tumblr or wherever the hell else we are that I forget about, and there's got to be some sort of follow or subscribe button. Most of these formats I've never actually visited, but our feed goes there. So I don't know how they work, but got to be some sort of follow button, some sort of subscribe button. Even on YouTube, there's got to be a subscribe button, but I think our YouTube broadcast, comes out after we stop broadcasting. It's, later broadcast kind of thing, I think. I don't know.
Are you going to keep being funny after we go off the air?
I'm always funny.
Just to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's,
that's the best
thing. This is the way we always are.
That's the best thing about this guy,
acting.
like Witch, Smitch, whatever, Schmitch.
Smidge? Don't
He's
call
funny.
me Smidge.
He's just funny.
I'll call you something that rhymes with Smidge.
No, I know you didn't. No, you didn't.
All right. So what were you saying?
I was just saying that you're funny.
Ah.
And it'd be nice if you keep being funny after we go off the air. Because it's only going to be 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You've got hours to be funny.
Yeah.
And I need that kind of, stimulation because I'm really upset about what's going on in the world and the protests and the virus. And then we have like a tropical storm coming. I'm down and out.
Yeah.
You have to cheer me up.
All right. Let's see if I can find a song about it.
Oh, yeah?
All right. Widdershins.
I'm as cranky as a bitch. All I wanna do is spit. Nothing to eat after that feast. We're getting late regular at least. And I don't wanna hurt you, so stay out of my way today. Every 28 days women bleed, unless they get too much of your seed. A man gotta flush themselves out too, but it's always sexual when they do. You women, you just stick some pad inside. Man gotta practically fall in fucking love. Beautiful trees, beautiful trees, beautiful trees, beautiful trees. basically just tired. You don't have to leave. You can stay here. After all, this is still a love song. Beautiful trees. Beautiful trees. Beautiful trees. Beautiful trees.
Well, I know I miss more than hit with a face that was launched to sink, and I seldom feel the bright relief. It's been the worst day since yesterday. If there's one thing I have said, is that the dreams I once had now lay in bed. As the four winds blow my wits through the door, it's been the worst day since yesterday. Falling down to you, sweet ground, where the flowers they bloom. Well, it's there I'll be found. Hurry back to me, my wild calling. It's been the worst day since yesterday.
Except for the scars I
front of me. Color of her eyes were the color of insanity. Crushed beneath her wave like a ship I could not reach the shore. We're all just dancers on the devil's dance floor. Well, swing a little more, and then there we go. Swing a little more next to me. Swing a little more, and then there we go. Swing a little more on the devil's dance floor. The rush against her face, I could feel her insecurity. Mother'd been a drunk and her father was obscurity. Nothing ever came from a life that was a simple one. Pull yourself together, girl, and have a little fun. Well, she took me by the hand, I could see she was a furry one. Her legs ran all the way up to heaven and past Avalon. Tell me something, girl, what it is you have in store. She said,